Welcome back to the Comics Run, everybody. Even though you're still reeling from the big announcements at WonderCon and the glory of Saga #1, it's time again to take a look at this week's onslaught of awesome comics. So let's get to it. The crown jewel of DC Comics arrives this week in the form of Batman #7, with some major twists revealed that will probably set up the big crossover spreading across the Bat books, Night of the Owls. It's been quite the intense ride for Bruce Wayne in the New 52, and I'm pretty sure this issue isn't going to slow anything down. And less intense, but just as glorious, is DC's Tiny Titans #50. It might look like a comic that's just for kids, but in reality it's probably the most cleverly written superhero comic at DC. I mean, where else are you going to find a superhero pet club? Unfortunately, this issue marks the finale of the series, but you can find the creative team back in action in a couple of months with a series that'll be just as fun, Superman Family Adventures. Yep, that means more crypto for this guy. At Marvel, the much-hyped new Spider-Man story, Ends of the Earth, begins in Amazing Spider-Man #682. Dr. Octopus is about to kick the bucket, and it seems he's made it his dying wish to take the world with him. Featuring the return of the Sinister Six, Ends of the Earth should appeal to longtime Spidey fans and newcomers alike. So if you love dinosaurs with machine guns for arms, epic battles of good versus evil, and babies with unicorn horns, this week holds a lot of potential for you. And if that sounds like something from the mind of a 7-year-old, well, you're right. Written by a 7-year-old and drawn by his older brother, X-Cop from Dark Horse Comics returns this week in a brand new volume full of new adventures. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's one of the funniest comics you'll find on the stands. And you know those shows where totally unqualified people run around trying to find Bigfoot and other monsters? Well, what if the crappiness of those shows was actually a cover-up device used to hide the truth of their existence? That's the premise of Hoax Hunters from Image Comics, which debuts this week. This is something right up my alley, and kicking it off with a story about an astronaut made of crows is just weird enough to work. And from Image's Top Cow imprint comes The Darkness #101, which will serve as the jumping-on point for fans looking to get in on the ground floor of a new era of the series. This issue marks the debut of the new Darkness team David Hine and Jeremy Haun, and will set the series off in a completely new direction. And finally, my beloved Rocketeer returns at IDW Publishing this week with the debut of the new volume of Rocketeer Adventures. Handled by some of the biggest names in all of comics, this anthology series returns with 25 great pages of Golden Age throwback action. This is the book that won IGN's Best Anthology Series of 2011, so I absolutely recommend checking it out. And that wraps up this week's Comics Run, but be sure to check out comics.ign.com for more info on all of these books, and follow me on Twitter @Joey Esposito and let me know what you thought. And I'll see you next week.